this week. So we'll be running through our new network switches and how they work and all the new functions and functionality we have on our new switches. So first up, we can see on the PPT, we've got many switches available, from our smart managed to our enterprise switches, all the way down to even SFP. Now, of course, as you know, we also make our own RJ45s and fly leads and anything in the network environment we do as well. One thing we have above everybody else is our new HPP cloud managed app, which you can actually manage your sites via the app. No need for a laptop and so forth, but we'll go into more detail later on. Okay, so let's have a look at our distribution switches and our project switches. First up, you can see again our family is very wide and diverse, from normal Soho metal to desktop plastic small office switches, and we go all the way up to campus switches. So any switch you can think of, we have it, as well as our new industrial switches on the market. Now, these industrial switches are made for very harsh environments. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you? Good. So these switches are made to run in those areas where it's very dusty and not really great to have normal switches. Okay, but we'll go into detail a bit later on. Sorry, I just got two guests joining me in the office, so it's going to be a bit different now. Can you see properly? I'm not going to kill the light, otherwise it's bad on the video feed. Okay, so on our smart managed switches, our entry-level E1 switches, EI switches, we've got a couple available. Okay, from the Pro ones up here, from 8 port to 24 port. Here we have actually 5 port or up to 26 port, but you'll see there are 24 ports plus 2 SFP ports. We also have high PoE switches. Now these high PoE switches are made for PTZs. So they pump out more wattage per port. Because you know now we don't provide our PTZs with the DC brick anymore. So we need a high PoE switch to power those devices. Okay, up to 90 watts, some of those high PoE ports. So very cool to have those. You'll see here we've got a couple of new ones out as well now. That is a new upgraded version of the firmware, but also upgrade the power on them. So they can also support. You can see there, it's only a 10 port. So it's a smaller device, but I got high PoE on it. So think of your perimeter protection. You want to have not a big ass 24 port behind every pole. You want to have a small little switch to do the job. So we have now smaller ones to be able to cater for that. So it's very cool. Okay, so here's pain points with networking. As we know, we all pull wires. If you have in the past, this is a very terrible job. It's very complex. You need heavy tools. You need a laptop. You need the NVR GUI to be able to figure out and manage all this stuff. It's painful. We're also unclear about the structure. We know, or I know as an IT guy, I was an IT guy for many years. You get into somebody's network, you've got no idea what's going on. You can't see what the IP range is, or you can't even see if there's different VLANs and all that stuff. It's very hard to manage. And also, the maintenance costs are pain in the butt. Like I used to be an installer out in George, and I had clients in Oatsville. So I have to drive if there's anything wrong with the client's network from George to Oatsville, 90 kilometers. So 180 a day. Then I get there and I realize the switches is full. But I couldn't see it because I didn't have HikPartner Pro. Now with HikPartner Pro, I can be anywhere in the world. I can be on the beach, log into my client's network, see what's going on there, and actually restart the switch. Even restart the port down. Okay, but we'll get into more detail. I see it. I think he's having a bit of a laugh there. Okay, so here is the unified cloud platform. So as you know, HikPartner Pro, one app for installers that has everything of Hikvision can be managed from. I'm talking from the camera to the DVR, to your intercom, to your alarm system, to your network switches, everything. Okay, so you can do everything, no laptop required. So we know the techies out there get these Lenovo's, little small ones, they don't last long. And every year they want a new one because the games don't work anymore on it. Okay, so now we can just use your phone. Of course, you want a decent phone, not something with a cracked screen, but from there you can actually manage everything. From visualization, your topology, UI, one step into full scale configuration, everything on the phone. Last week I was allowed to test our new Wi-Fi 5 router. I did everything off the phone. I didn't even open up my laptop. I was sitting like this, get everything set up. Cool. So very, very nice. You can see here on the view, Here's a site we've added. So you can create your site name, could be Joe's Soap Store. Okay. My topology in there. But in the topology, I put my network switch. You see it's IP. You can see what other devices are connected onto that switch. If you click on that little yellow line of the green line there, you can see how much power it's using, how much bandwidth it's for. That's cool. If I have a AP on here, like our routers, you'll see it there, and you can see who is the person who's utilizing it most. Like at your house. You want to watch Netflix, it does that. Okay. You can log into your AP on the app, see who it is, and you can say, this person can only now have 2 megabytes. Then they start doing this, and yours are fine. Okay, so very cool. Everything off the app, very streamlined. Okay, so here's a bigger, we just zoom in a bit to see more. So you can see now there's my switch, it's IP address. Here is my 2 other switches. Here's my camera. Here's my AP. They say I've got 3 APs actually in the building. This is our new ceiling mount AP. There's up to 300 connections simultaneously. Okay. Then here's our other DVR with our cameras added. But I can even now go down to DVR configuration on the same app. And I can see the camera, the system settings, the network settings, the platform access, adjust my video and audio, the image, switch on cloud managed, even see my storage and schedule for my DVR. All off the app. I don't even touch my laptop yet. So very cool. And as well, of course, your live view of your camera. But that could be my intercom as well. So everything in one app. So it makes things very, very easy. Okay, let's have a look at our project switches. Now, a lot of people don't know we do high-end campus switches as well. The big boys. Yeah, I don't like really playing in the market, but anyway, we are here now. Okay, so we've got the SI units. You can see 24 gigabit ports, 4 SFPs. So that's for our fiber cabling. So that's one big, okay? Then we're going to have our PSI series, which is 8 gigabit ports, but 2 SFPs. 110 watts PoE power. So I've had a client earlier this week that he put too many cameras on a switch, and then he wanted to add a PTZ into it. And he didn't realize that all that power together was too much. He has to buy a higher end. But you can now see on the app how much wattage being used. Are you breaching? Are you close to breaching? Okay. You can see all the units available. There's one here with actually 4 SFPs. 4 gigabit SFPs, 370 watts. Bigger one, 470 watts. So one switch that can run your whole system network, no issues. Okay. And of course, the new HP SI range, which is a bit different. You can see the wattage is a bit lower, but also a variety of SFP ports as well as gigabit ports available. Okay. So all new hot releases came out this year. Cool. So with our new HP SI series, we've got a new silent operation. You wouldn't believe me, I've got clients out there that was complaining that it's too noisy. We're sitting in a cupboard, you switch. And it's a very silent house for some reason in George. And the fan was running. And he said, it's too noisy. I said, no, man, can't be. So I went one night to his house and I sat there and I could hear it. So now we've got the new silent cooling method. So it's a lot cooler. It's a lot less noise coming out. Okay. You've been to server rooms where you walk in there and you can't hear anything. Yes. Aircon running, all these fans running. Now we've got that new switch. Lock there. Okay. Of course, we have the rack mountables as well. Okay. Of course, we have to have that. We don't have that. And we've got the new built-in reset switch. Because these ones get activated with a username and password, we get people forgetting these passwords. Now, in the past, you had to send the file to call center to get resetted and then send back and you're done. Now we've actually added the reset switch on it. So quickly press it and it resets the password in jump. Okay, that's cool. On the ePartner Pro app, now we can actually log in, go down to the port level per port, and you can see what's the utilization, what's the power output, is there something wrong, restart that port, not the whole switch. Because you can't just plug out the power of the switch and the whole network goes down. Yeah. And the boss is busy with a massive presentation or a HikLeague and his connection drops. So people will be upset. Now I can go down to that single port and just restart that port and be up and running again. Okay, that's very, very cool. Okay, so the HI series, couple of ones available. You can see now from 48 port, 24 port, different SFPs available. Okay. From, you can see there are 4 or 10 gigabit SFPs. Yeah, it's crazy how much bandwidth people are pulling lately. Okay. But we've got more security on these functions as well, like DHE snooping. We have the ARP prevention as well. Of course, SNMP up to version 3 now. So all these encryptions and methods are available on these switches. It's no longer just a normal dumb switch. It's a proper managed switch. Let's see. Things coming through. Okay, the HI series is actually called an aggregated switch. So they're sitting in the back end of your network. You got all your normal HI switches on the other end, and then your HISI switches, and then everything's coming back to the aggregated switch, which then balances everything out. You can see there are up to 600 channels, video channels coming in. And that's actually the S clients with so many switches or so many cameras out there. Got a client around the corner here, 1,400 cameras, one side, running 5 between each switches. So now you can have actually everything on one topology, one app, and manage it. See the whole network in one view, pick up any issues on it and quickly fix it. Okay. So here is the breakdown of each switch and what they do support. So if you go through all these IT stuff, I call it, you can see all the things that you want to see. Okay. From your port long range support mode. So that means on the long range, sorry for the camera being in the bottom there, but we support up to 300 meters Cat6. One run. In theory, we always say 100 meters, but now with our PoE switches, we can do up to 300 with our cable. So that's quite brilliant that we can go that far. Let's see there. Somebody's talking. Okay, of course, we do support VLANs and all the VLAN mapping and all that, even voice mapping on our HI switches. So all these new features available. We also have PoE Watchdog, which is a fantastic feature. Now, like I said, that client on Osram, we had to drive out and reset the switches all the time. Now, if we have PoE Watchdog on there, it picks up if the camera is off and will try to restart the camera by itself. But with the Watchdog coming on, it will send you a notification. Camera's offline. So now you get that notification. You can call your client to look like a hero saying, I picked up this camera's offline. We fixed it already. I just want to let you know. And you like the superstar in the whole story. But that function is fantastic. Also, loop prevention. Loop prevention for me is a big one, because you know those IT guys, they just plug in cables, they don't check. I've done it before. Where I didn't see it was a fire lead, I thought it was need to be in there. So I stuck it into the same switch. Guess what happened? The whole Mossel Bay golf course actually went offline because of me not checking. So now we have the loop prevention in place that actually stops it from happening. Okay, so very, very cool.
So if you have to stick something in, how does it stop it?
It will pick up that there's something going on. Has to block that port from happening. Yeah, it will pick up, as soon as you have the same cable running in, your latency and everything just jumps through the roof. So it will pick that up and disable that port. Yeah, and of course notification as well. You know what's going on. Also cable detection is something plugged in. Something simple as that. Cool. Of course, we have all these other features as well. We are launching new stuff like the IoT detection and energy saving.
So when that cable detection and the PoE.
Yeah. So go back.
So in terms of cable detection, would that tell you where from obviously the PoE switch to where that
other cable going? So if you've got your topology on the app set correctly, you'll be able to see it on there. Also to which port it goes to the next switch.
So you don't?
Well, you're going to put it in. Well, we have to check it out and see. I've not tested it myself. So nice to see it as well. Yeah.
Other guys will use the probe and toe.
Yeah,
that you see.
Or that's another tool we use. It's no longer made by us, but it's a cable device like you use Android device. Which you can stick in, and on the other end you can stick in a little remote pod, and we'll pick up. There's something there. That's quite cool. Okay, like I said, all new features. We have the new energy saving one coming soon. We have the 3 IoT detection coming soon. QIS as well. That's coming soon onto our switches. So a lot more features are being launched soon onto our switches. Here, of course, is the campus switches. You can see how massive they are and what they could do for you. The aggregation switches, and of course, the access normal switches at the bottom as well.
With the new features, is that just a software patch?
Firmware upgrades. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so in the back, we just add more features. Yeah. So you don't have to replace the switch. We just add new firmware. Yeah. I can guarantee every 3 months there's something new. Yeah. Cool. So this is a new device we've launched recently, already available on the market. So it's a fiber module, transceiver, receiver, and transmitter. So on one end I put the transmitter, and the other end I put the receiver, but I can push it up to 20 kilometers. So for those sites where I've got a perimeter protection and my camera is 20 kilometers away, I can have the receiver here, the transmitter here, receiver at the other end, one fiber cable to the other end, and transmit the data. So I don't have to run multiple switches to get there. Because how many switches do you run on 20 Ks? Every 100 meters per. There you go. So imagine, it's a lot of bloody switches. So now I can run this new device, gigabit out, all the way there, 20 kilometers. Of course, if you go, there's another way, you can see it's only 3 kilometers, a smaller one, if it's shorter. Okay. But the price on this is extremely economical. Okay. I can guarantee it's going to be less than 500. So already you can see, I can add how many switches? 30 switches for 20 kilometers. Now I just pay $500 and done. A whole run done, finished. Okay, so they say flexible scenarios, tunnels, highways, perimeter. There you go. Okay, very, very cool. So next up is the industrial switches and other little things that we have. So you'll see in industrial switches, we have unmanaged ones available, also smart managed. You can see also the loop prevention built in here, also high PoE. Then you also have the full managed ones available. And then at the end here, you'll see in quarter 3, we are launching a solar powered switch, industrial. So solar panel on top, 12 volt DC into it, works. So that probably ticks a lot of boxes for everybody. Okay, for those big parameters that we're doing, the solar panels only, you can have this switch now to power all your cameras. So we can do 4 cameras on them. And we have the SFPs in there. Okay, so if you want to run fiber as well, or maybe a wireless bridge. So very cool, little small switch like that. Currently, we're doing quite a lot of solar farms in South Africa, and I've recently looked at one, the border is like 23 kilometers. There's no power, there's no fiber. Yeah, so I have to create wireless bridge, maybe to the first pole from there I can do fiber between them. Yeah. So very, very cool that we're having that on launching soon. Because so these industrial switches basically are made for areas where it's very dusty, okay? High temperatures or low temperatures. Okay, so a normal switch won't last, where these ones are made to last. Okay. That's always like if you press next on the slide and it doesn't jump. Okay, so here is the cloud managed industrial switch. You can see 4 ports high PoE, so 90 watt output. Small DIN rail installation. So small box fits in there nice and easily, and you can see there 90 watt output up to minus 40 degrees. So we're good in South Africa here. You're not getting it. So it's made to last. You can see IP40. What else is there that I saw there on this? A really cool little device. Just into a little pole. There you go, Bob Janko. You can run your 4 cameras on there and all working fine. Okay, here's a full managed industrial switch as well. You can see there 4 gigabit PoE, 2 gigabit SFPs, and an uplink port. DIN rail installation, IP40, 75 Celsius. So that's anywhere in South Africa. Okay. And of course, deal with it on power inputs. So if the one fails, the other one will take over. And of course, then supports all the funky features, VLAN, SNMP, all the things that the IT guys like hearing. Yeah. Cool. Then we have something else called the wireless bridge. So a lot of other companies use those, I'm not going to call them the name of them, but they all use them. Okay. We've got our own 200 meter ones. Okay, that's actually, that's a smaller one. We also have then longer distance, up to 15 kilometers. Okay. Wi-Fi 5 or 5 gigahertz by basically throughput. That is probably like 800 megabits per second. See there, 876 megabits per second. So you can have quite a lot of cameras out there. We are launching now like a unit where both are already in one pack. Okay. So when you activate them, it's fairly easy. Pick Partner Pro again. Activate them. Dip switches at the bottom. Done. Okay, and they're linking up together. Now, of course, these ones can also come with, we'll see later on, with the Omni antenna. One to multi-point. Okay. We also have a cool feature which other companies can't actually do. It's where you go back to back. Our routers or our APs, ridges, don't have a lot of noise pushing to the back, only forward. So you can have them back to back on one pole. And they're fine. Okay. Well, that's quite cool. So you see now with wireless bridges, we know it takes a very long time to pull cable. Firstly, you inspect the environment, 1 day. 2 days to dig. Use South Africa, maybe 5 days, depending. With this rain, 7 days. Okay. Then your wire, and then your pipe, and then install the cameras. So we're talking about 8 days, 16 days maybe to get installation done. Now with a wireless bridge, same day, done. Because you just climb up there, wireless bridge this side, wireless bridge this side. Now, I did installation in George where we had to put cameras across the street. Now to get that done, you have to first ask government, can I trench a hole? Can I dig? Then you get a contractor. So that's probably 2-3 weeks. We just put 2 wireless bridges up, done, finish, same day. No labor costs, nothing. It's just one guy on a stick ladder.
And you won't need a satellite.
So the wireless bridge is the 2 receiver.
That's
it.
Eye to eye.
Eyesight. Yeah. Okay. They can go a bit wide as well. Ours I've seen where the angle is quite odd and it still works, still picks up. So very, very cool. Very, very nice device and very cost effective compared to companies. Okay, so here is the key features of our APs. So you can see point to point, point to multi-point, and back to back. Okay. We have now, of course, the auto pairing kit available. We also have the dip switches at the bottom. So when you get the kit together, you activate dip switch 1 for the first one, dip switch 2 for the other one. Okay, then you create the SSID. Done. It's very easy again off your phone. Didn't take out a laptop. I just sit there by the bottom of the pole. I'm not finished. Yeah. Well, here is the quick input and output. You can see there from our switch to our wireless bridge. We also have, of course, our elevator APs. Now, people think elevator AP. We have old buildings in South Africa where there's no space made for cat cable. So to get a cat cable in there, you need to get Otis out there, put a new rail in. Very, very expensive. Now I put the elevator AP in that. One at the top, one inside the top of the cab, and they talk. Now you can have a camera inside there. You can have your access control device in there. Now we have something called elevator controllers as well with our facial readers. You can link it to that device. So when I scan my face, only certain buttons work. That's quite cool. With the elevator controller, I can link it in now and have that all working very easy. Oh, this thing jumps not by itself. Interesting. Yeah, so next up, on our APs, we also have a new couple of features that we released. First up, you know the topology is there. Okay. We also have now antenna alignment included. So you can see point to point, it's 15 kilometers. You can't see the other one.
Yeah.
So now we have alignment to get the best signal possible. We also have spectrum scanning. So we can pick up if there's another brand in the same frequency as ours, and it will pick the correct frequency to the best signals. Okay, so it does happen. I was installing wireless bridges in George again, Botswana, everywhere. And we always had issues where the other company will point their dish at ours to make our signal worse. Now I can pick it up and adjust it to a different frequency without even getting on my laptop. I can sit on the beach and quickly fix it. Okay, so very, very cool. We have that now included. Okay, of course, here's the easy setup. So here's how it works. Give them power, you power them on. You will batch activate, of course, or just normal activate. Then you will pack them in and match them to which ones you want to line up. You will input the SSID, the password, choose the country, and you're done. All off the phone. Okay. Really, very easy. Okay. We make it too easy now. Okay, so you'll see the topology, of course, where you can set it up. Here's where we align the two. We check the background noise, check the signal intensity or signal strength, check the transfer rate, the receive rate. Okay, you can see how the setup runs. It's the AP or a CPE. What security mode? What country, of course? the channel, wireless mode, done. You can configure everything off the phone. And of course, you can also see what is being pushed out on the bridge on a PoE port. So you can disable that PoE port and not pushing power. Okay. So these come with PoE built in. So you can have a camera at the other end without putting down now another PoE switch. Okay, so it saves a lot of time and of course a lot of money. Here's the alignment, like I said earlier, where we can then pick up the alignment and have it proper aligned. Okay. So very important that you get them the right angles, get the best throughput on both of them. Get the full 800 megabit throughput. Don't want them pointing the wrong way and then having issues. Yeah, that's spectrum analyzer. So one-click scanning of all points, automatic optimization. So it will pick the right frequency for you. You don't have to look and see which one is best. Okay, so that optimizes everything quick and easy. There's no waiting for the IT guy to show up with his laptop to log in, fix it. And like I said, sit on the beach, fix it. Okay. Here's the elevator one again, where we said we put the unit at the top and one in the cab, and we can have cameras and access units inside the cab. Even Wi-Fi in elevator. You know when you get in an elevator and you want to call, WhatsApp call, gone. But now I can have Wi-Fi in. But most South Africa doesn't have tall buildings with a lot of floors. Normally it's a quick ride. But I've been to countries where it takes a while to get up. So now you can have that inside the elevator. Much easier. Always online and video footage and everything in there. So very cool. You can actually see there, we're talking about cameras and advertising screens. Did you know we do actual advertising screens? There's a massive one here on the side of Baldwin Properties. There's ones outside here as well. It's physical monitors, LED, LCD, that made to run 24/7.
So billboards.
Yeah. So we do billboards basically, but LED. There's a big one in Canal Walk, Cape Town, 3D one. If you stand at a certain point, it's 3D.
Before that, in your showroom, that I think they had it.
The smaller one, yeah. We've got a new soft LED around the corner here. Yeah. So we can have the advertising board inside that, and you can rent out that space for advertising. What do you do in an elevator? Just stand around. So now you can look at adverts. Yeah. So another little idea of selling something. Here is the other scenarios we can do on long range. So like I said, we also do our own solar panels, okay, with our own solar battery packs. They come in a set of 4, so different batteries inside. So you can replace them where needed. But now with the wireless bridge on the other end, I can push it over 15 kilometers.
So when you're building a solar camera, from what I've seen, they've always built like that metal box. I mean,
at the bottom. Also included at the bottom. So it's a solar panel on top with a battery box at the bottom with a DC outputs. That's our solar panel kit. We also have cameras already where there's a panel and a camera included. But if you want to go kit-wise, the kit-wise is for going wireless bridge on your own camera. A different one, not the one that's in the other kits. So you can have that built up like that. So our max output now I think is 70 watts on there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will power your bridge and not a big NPTZ, a lower NPTZ. Yeah. So ultra long range, flexible networking, and cost saving. Nobody's trenching, nobody's laying fiber, nobody's splicing. All that costs money in the end. Now just one wireless bridge finish.
Cool. What are the instances with because I mean everybody always believes wire is better than
Correct. Yeah, but if you've got a proper AP wireless bridge, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah. But cable in the end wins because your throughput is so much higher. Well, weather doesn't really interfere with the wireless bridge unless it's serious weather. We're meaning like the wind's blowing and they're missing each other. But not that really. Problem is fiber or network cable is somebody's going to dig someday and break it. We have something for that as well. So you can see there are 15 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and 1 kilometer ones. Okay, so every one of them are available. And like I said, they do come now in kits. Okay, and then of course the elevator controller, 500 meters. That's a very tall building. Okay, like Burj Khalifa we know is like 1.8. So you're gonna have a couple of them in there. Get to the top. Okay. Very cool. So that is it for our networking today. Very short and sweet. One thing you need to know is HikPartner Pro is the best. Get it on your phone. If you don't have it yet, get it. I've been using it since 2019. It's extremely helped me a lot, even building solutions or managing. We had a client, when I was running a site in George, we had an issue of loading all our clients on Partner Pro. Firstly, we had to drive to all these sites always to manage them. And a lot of fuel was spent to get there. Now we had one guy sitting behind a desk managing it all. If there's something going down, he would inspect what's going down, then send the tech up with the right camera, the right cable, the right switch to replace. So it's a one trip there. It's not multiple trips. So cost saving for remote management is a lot better just because of HikMon. Fantastic. Cool. Any questions? No. Nothing yet. Okay.
Nothing that comes to mind.
So all these are available at our dealers. You can jump on there and get the pricing from them, of course. And then let's see. You'll see that probably ours are a lot cheaper than the competitors, more cost effective, and the features.